Hello, what is going on? My name is Danny, and today's video is going to be a short vlog, potentially in one take. Let's see if I've got the abilities to do a lot, like the fighting scene in John Wick, except with a lot less action. Unless this is the kind of action you're into. What I'm going to talk about, is writing. Journaling in particular. And something that happened the other day whilst I was journaling that essentially delayed me from doing my tax return for a few extra hours and took me pages and pages of writing in order to make me feel that it was okay that I was doing that. And I didn't really know what to call what happened, but it was quite profound, actually. And then, whilst I was thinking about this and looking at some affirmations in a book, which is just down there, called Creative Visualization. I've mentioned it before on this channel if you're a long time viewer, which is an unlikely occurrence because there's not many of them. Anyway, the book's called Creative Visualization. And I was flicking through it and I saw a chapter called Clearing. And I started just glancing at it and I just thought, oh, that's what I did. And I was quite surprised. So I'm going to talk about the way that I went through it. And that's it. That's the video. Enjoy. I'm thinking about maybe releasing a podcast and doing this in a podcast form. Kind of like Blind Boy. But he goes very deep into certain topics. I don't go that deep into it. It's more experiential. Anyway, this is the video. So the other day I had a to-do list. On the to-do list was some journaling, to do my tax return, to get in touch with the council tax people. A lot of tax-related things this time of year. I also had to email a couple of people and do a job application. A job kind of application. An acting job application, which is an audition. I had to prepare for that. But I said application because I wanted to sound normal and not like an artist. But I'm an artist, what can I say? Anyway, I had all these things to do on my list. And right at the top of the list was journaling. Now, journaling is something I've been doing for a while. And it's a pretty mandatory thing for me, really, in order to stay level, to organise my thoughts, to help me to more clearly plan my day, plan the next day, plan the next week, to let go of the past. Journaling's a pretty crucial thing for me. But on this day when I had a lot of things to do, I started thinking, I can't do it. I can't journal. I haven't got time for that. I've got to do all these other things. And this didn't sit well with me because I know how crucial it is for me to do certain self-care things like journaling, meditating. I've been in this game long enough now to know that I'm fucked in the head if I don't force myself to do some of these things. But still, I was resistant and I wasn't doing it. And I quite wanted a journal. I was like, I know it's good for me. I feel an urge to do it, but I've just got to do all these other things. So I thought, no, this is wrong. So I chose to journal. But what I chose to journal about was the fact that I was resistant to journal. And so I started looking at the other things on the list, the to-do list. And as I said, number one was do your tax return. Now, this was on... I don't even know what day it is now. What date is it today? 27th? Maybe it was on the 25th. I don't know, around then. And tax return is due on the 31st of January. So I had 6 days, and I already had most of it done. I needed to finish it off and send it away. So I had a little bit of time. But in my head, it was like I needed to do it. No time to journal. I need to do that today. And so I thought I'd investigate, and I thought, what's going on with the tax return thing? Why does it feel so urgent? And on writing about it, I thought, in fact, I've got it in front of me there. I need my glasses there to see it. Okay, yeah. So I decided to ask the question, why do I think... No, I started to realise that I was saying to myself, I have to do this. I have to do my tax return. I should do it. I must do it. I need to do it. And all these words are just so urgent. And I don't trust that anymore in myself. So I started to question, why do I think I should do it? Why is that? So, various things that cropped up. If I don't do it, I'll get fined. I could have to go to court. I'll be stressed. And I'll run out of time to hand it in. So then I broke down all those individual things. Let's just pick one of them. I'll get fined more if I'm late with my tax return. Or if I don't do it or something like that. Now, rationally, I know that I've got time to do it. But in my head, it's like, if I journal, I'm not going to get my tax return in, and I'll get fined more. Okay. So I kept digging deeper, and I looked, if I get fined more, then it's going to cost more money down the line. I'm going to have to work more in February. I'm not going to have any freedom. And I just kept following it. It's a technique called digging the gold, which I found on some... I'll put the link in the description. Psychology Today, I'm pretty sure it was that website. Digging for gold, and it's a way of finding your core fears. So I dug for gold a little bit, and I kept going, and I was like, well, if I don't have my freedom, what'll that do? Well, no, first I said, if I don't pay me tax, what'll that do? Well, it's going to cost me more money next month. And if it costs me more money next month, then what's that mean? Well, I'm going to have to work more next month. And what does that mean? Well, it means I'm going to have no freedom. And what does that mean? I'm going to have a miserable life. I'm going to be lonely. And it just always boils down to the same stuff. So, essentially, then what I did is summarise the situation. I said, I want to journal, but I have to do my tax return. Because if I don't, then I'm going to be eternally lonely. And then I would sit and look at that in black and white in front of me. And when I see it so clearly in front of me, that is the train of thought. It just looks insane. So insane that I'm able to discard it. Now, that wasn't the only thought. There was I had to do the similar process for the tax return thing and for the audition, learning my lines for the audition. And I had to do a similar thing for getting in touch with council tax. I just dug a little bit deeper for each one of those things and recognised that at the core of each of the things I thought I had to do or should do was some sort of existential fear that my life and social status and financial security and everything was just going to crumble around me if I chose to journal for 20 minutes. So that's batshit, isn't it, really? So what I recognise is that by thinking those things, it left me in a state of fog, confusion, frustration, limbo, unable to choose what to do at all. Even though I knew what I wanted to do is to journal for 20 minutes. So then, on recognising that those thoughts weren't helping me, I had to then come up with a positive affirmation or like a reframing of the situation. Or a best case scenario. That's the term I like best for that I've heard before. Best case scenario. So the best case scenario would be, I get to journal for 20 minutes. In fact, maybe I get to journal for 45 minutes if that's what I need. I feel better as a result of it. And then I get my council tax I get my income tax sorted this evening. I've still got plenty of time to get it done if there's any errors. I get in touch with Counter Tax on Monday, and I get the lines learnt from the audition a couple of minutes every day for the next couple of days. And that's the best case scenario. I wrote out a best case scenario, and I feel really good while I'm doing it all. And I feel clarity and better prepared to deal with other situations like this in the future when I'm feeling indecisive. And so I just considered that best case scenario, that I could both journal, feel good, and get all the things I thought I had to do done in good time. And guess what? I journaled, and I got all those things done. Well, 2 out of 3 of the other things done. I've still got one thing to do because it isn't Monday yet. So there you go. That, I believe, is clearing. And I think there are more sort of routine ways of doing it that maybe spiritual teachers or self-development teachers teach. But I kind of stumbled on it in my own way, just by journaling and just investigating what's going on behind all my thinking. And then once I recognised that my thinking wasn't helping me, I think that's a crucial part of it that I wouldn't have done in the past. Once I recognised that, I then chose to think something different, or at least to give the idea of something different a little bit of a chance, which helps me to feel a little bit lighter, helps me to get on with my day a little bit more easily. And in the end of the day, got everything done that I was so scared about not doing, plus the thing that I wanted to do. I've used this strategy for another thing or two over the last week since I did that the first time. And it's definitely something I'm going to revisit, and I'm going to look more deeply into clearing as a concept, because I didn't even know it had a name until I fell upon it. Had some synchronicity by seeing it in this book. So I'm going to dig deeper. Maybe that's a future video topic, to talk about a bit more of a structured way of doing it. I did start to make like a spreadsheet of the way that I approached it, trying to make it structured, but it just turned into like a fucking 20-column extravaganza. It didn't seem efficient enough. So we'll see. Anyway, that's about it really. I'm quite glad I got this video done. I was really thinking I'm just not going to bother, but I want to try and be consistent, get one out a week, as I've said in pretty much every video. And I have managed to do it. So what's next for me to say is you should like and subscribe to this video. And you know what? Hit that bell notification. I don't even know what the bell notification does. I just hear people say that one. I personally have all notifications off on my phone, so even if I've got the bell on for people, it doesn't go through. Anyway, subscribe. I'm sure that's good. I like to see the number go up. I got 1 new subscriber from the last video. Yes! Congratulations to you who subscribed, and thank you for doing so. That's about it. You know, I'm going to play some nice music right now. Oh, isn't that nice? And then I'm going to leave the internet for today. Okay, well, wishing you all the best. And I'll see you another time next Sunday. Maybe I'll start doing 2 videos a week this week. No, maybe eventually. I'll see you next Sunday. Anyway, goodbye.